Welcome back for another video. In today's video we'll be pulling out the record books as we look back at the biggest Gameweek score of all time. This manager didn't just break the record, they obliterated it. Despite the player base having more than doubled since then, the record still stands to this day. Sadly, no high resolution screenshot of the team still exists. Even the official Premier League tweet was a low resolution image. So consider this a HD remaster, as I've reproduced the kits and teams in Photoshop and dug through every match to get the full breakdown of this record breaking score. If you're a veteran player, there's some real throwback names in here too. The date was April 16th, 2016. It was Gameweek 34 of the 2015-16 season, and most importantly it was a double game week due to many teams having postponements. The team name by the name of Savage Strikers had activated the bench boost chip for the game week. Here's what happened. We'll start off in goal, which was Watford's Gomez. He got a ridiculous 21 points that game week through the unlikeliest of means. The majority of his points came in the first of the double, where Watford beat West Brom 1-0. Besides the clean sheet, he saved a penalty taken by Berahino in the 67th minute. In the 87th minute, West Brom win another penalty. Berahino steps up again and Gomez saves it again. The second of the double was a 3-1 loss to West Ham, where Troy Deeney himself also missed a penalty. The next two defenders were Bellerin and Koscielny from Arsenal. Nothing substantial here, as they kept a clean sheet against West Brom and drew 1-0 with Crystal Palace, and they finished the double game week with 8 points each. It was arguably Bellerin's best league season for the Gunners, certainly in FPL, where he played 36 times, keeping 18 clean sheets, and he rose from 5.5 to 6.5, picking up 172 points along the way. Koscielny also had a strong season, scoring 4 times and picking up 18 bonus along the way. The last defender in the starting 11 was Alexander Kolarov from Man City. The Serbian was an extremely attacking fullback and took direct free kicks too. Every game he started had the potential to haul. He got 12 points in the double, which came from a clean sheet against Chelsea in a 3-0 win, which included a Thibaut Courtois red card for Chelsea. His second game was a 1-1 draw against Newcastle, where he also got an assist. The first midfielder is a player you might not recognise in this FPL position, which is Roberto Fimino. 2015-16 was his first season with Liverpool, and he was classified as a midfielder that campaign before getting changed to a forward. In the first game, Firmino scored as Liverpool beat Bournemouth 2-1, and he blanked in the second game against Everton, albeit a 4-0 win. Next up is an FPL cult hero, which is Dimitri Payet from West Ham. He was incredible that season, picking up 9 goals and 12 assists in 30 games. He started at 7.5 and rose all the way to 8.6. Despite his form that season, he actually scored the lowest of this entire team in the double, getting a single assist and a yellow card which left him on 6 points. On to the captain, which was Alexis Sanchez, who got a staggering 25-pointer in the double, which came from a goal against Crystal Palace and a brace against West Brom. He got all 3 bonus in both games, which scored 50 points for the team alone. Sanchez had a fantastic end to that campaign, picking up 7 goals and 3 assists in the final 10 game weeks. Although his career at Man United didn't work out, at his peak during his Arsenal days he was FPL royalty, and if you've not seen the video on the FPL all-time dream team, Sanchez makes that team. A link will be on screen at the end. Likewise, if you've enjoyed today's video so far, please hit like on it and subscribe to the channel. Despite Sanchez's 25-point haul, he wasn't even the highest scorer in the team. More on that later. Another player you might not recognise as a midfielder is Mikel Antonio. Back then he wasn't the striker you recognise today. He was a versatile player, having played in both left and right mid, and even a right back for 7 of his 26 appearances. It wasn't a great game week for the West Ham double up, and Antonio subsequently played in right back both games, but a reasonable punt all things considered. In retrospect, it's quite impressive how he developed from a utility player wherever he was needed to the striker he is today. On to the strikers, and it's yet another player who's since been reclassified, which is Marcus Rashford. He was just 18 years old at the time, and it was his breakout season, getting 5 goals and 2 assists in just 11 appearances under Van Gaal. He was only priced at 4.5 at the start of the season, and the type of budget player needed in this team to afford some of the premiums, especially the next name on the sheet. In the double game week, Rashford scored the winner against Aston Villa in a 1-0 win, and in the second game he blanked in a 3-0 loss to Tottenham, where he was pulled off at half-time. On to another FPL and Premier League legend, which is Sergio Aguero. He scored a breathtaking 26 points in the double in what was a dominant season for him. In his first game of the double, he scored a hat-trick in a 3-0 win against Chelsea, and in the second he scored again in a 1-0 draw against Newcastle. He picked up 3 bonus from both games and finished the season with 24 goals and 2 assists from 30 games. Another FPL highlight that season was in Gameweek 8, where Aguero scored 5 goals against Newcastle in just 66 minutes before coming off. The final player in the starting 11 was Daniel Sturridge, who got 17 points. However, stick around for the bench as it was completely stacked with a further 47 points. It was a tough season for Sturridge as the majority of it was plagued with injuries. He only made 14 appearances in total. However, he ended the season well with 5 goals and an assist in his last 8 matches. Veteran players will have fond memories of Sturridge in his 2013-14 season with Luis Suarez, where the two of them were unstoppable. During the double game week, Sturridge scored in both games, which netted him 17 points. Sturridge got the vice-captaincy, which fortunately wasn't needed, or it would have been a very different story. The first 2 players on the bench were both Man United players, which was David De Gea and Matteo Darmian. De Gea kept a clean sheet in both games, however he only made 1 save across both games, which got him 12 points. In Darmian's case, he scored his only goal of the season in all competitions in a very timely fashion. His goal came in a 2-0 win against Crystal Palace, where he also got an assist, kept a clean sheet and got all 3 bonus points. The third player on the bench was Aaron Cresswell, who actually failed to keep a clean sheet in either game, conceding 2 to Leicester during their title-winning season, and conceding 1 in a 3-1 win against Watford. However, he still had a strong showing in the double after getting a goal in that game against Leicester and a bonus point. The final player on the bench is Philippe Coutinho. He was reasonable value that season, getting 8 goals and 5 assists in 26 appearances. He missed the first game of the double, sitting out completely on the bench, but played in the second in a 4-0 win against Everton, where he scored and got a bonus point. That completes the team behind the biggest gaming score of all time. The total number of points was 226. What's also crazy to note is that a -20 hit was taken to build this team. Perhaps one of the rarest occasions that a 20-point hit has ever been repaid. Here's what the original team looked like on the FPL website back in 2016, and this was the graphic used as a basis for this video. That season there were 3.7 million managers, and the player base has more than doubled since then, yet the record still stands. The record will undoubtedly be beaten one day, however evidently so much has to fall perfectly into place, so who knows how soon we'll see it broken next. That wraps up today's video, thanks for watching. A lot of work went into this one, so if you enjoyed it, please drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I'll read every comment, so leave one below and I'll be sure to read it.